Welcome to Discover Indie Film. I'm Jeff Howard, and I am delighted to have with me on Zoom Ahmed Zayani. Ahmed.
Hey, Jeff. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great because I'm getting to chat with you. For everyone listening, I'm in Los Angeles and you're in Bahrain. So we're not exactly neighbors, so we're using Zoom for this discussion.
We're like 10 hours apart, I believe?
Nearly halfway across. I believe once I tried to use a globe and look at what the exact, if you ran a needle through the globe, where you would come out, and it was actually quite close to the Persian Gulf. I think it might have even been the biggest metropolis would have been Tehran, but
we are right on the Persian Gulf, actually.
Yeah, you are. For those who don't know, you're actually, Bahrain is an island off the coast of Saudi Arabia, and you have a bridge.
Yes, we have Saudi is about like less than half an hour away from Bahrain, driving across the bridge.
Not bad.
So it's more of a suburb of Saudi than anything else.
But it also, I assume there's some benefits to the independence, maybe.
Oh yeah. I mean, Bahrain is quite relaxed in terms of our lifestyle, and like we do have like exposure to a few things that are not available yet in Saudi Arabia. So we do have that benefit as well.
That's wonderful. That's great to hear. All right. Well, everyone listening, if you listen to the podcast before this one, you'll hear a nice long interview with Ahmed where we talked about you and your film. Oh, that's right. Part of your introduction, I have to mention, I didn't even mention Hope yet because I got distracted by telling everyone that we're on opposite sides of our wonderful planet, which is that you wrote and directed the film Hope, a horror short. And it was at Sherman Oaks Film Festival in 2025, last winter. Took home the Programmer's Prize for Exceptional Filmmaking. And then you also had it in our first ever spin-off festival. Our organization runs Sherman Oaks Film Festival in the winter and Film Invasion Los Angeles in the summer. And then through a wonderful kismet, we met with a wonderful team down in Lima, Peru, and we started Film Invasion Lima in January of 2026, and Hope played there and took home the award for Outstanding Horror Short and also the award for Best Sound Design in a Short. So there you go. So I am talking to a writer-director whose wonderful short film played in 2 festivals, taking home awards in both, and I just want to... Everyone should keep their eyes open right now. Hope is not available for everyone to watch because it's still doing this festival circuit. But if and when you release it, if you remember to fire off an email to me with a link where it can be watched, we'll make sure to put that in the show notes so people can see your film.
Oh, absolutely. You'll be the first person to hear about that.
I'm looking forward to it. And everyone should listen to the podcast before this one so they can get to know you better. Although in this podcast, we're going to get to know you because you're going to answer the Discover Indie Film 4 questions, which are: name 3 films that you love, name a film you feel is underrated, name a film you feel is overrated, and the final question is a lesser-known film for people to seek out.
Sure.
I will include the spoiler that you actually got involved in film review, both on social media and on television in Bahrain. So,
yes, sir.
Why, I might just say I've got myself not just a writer-director, but a film critic giving me this list finally.
Oh, you humble me, sir. All right. So, okay, let's start. So my favorite films. How many films should I name?
Well, I often joke that I'm not wearing a black and white striped shirt with a whistle, so I'm not really a referee. If you want to name more than 3, be my guest.
All right. So my all-time favorite film is Back to the Future.
That's honestly a perfect film.
Honestly, yeah, absolutely. It's something that I first watched, I think when I was in middle school. I got a VHS from one of my friends at the time, and like I borrowed it for 2 weeks, and I think I probably would have watched it every day during those 2 weeks. I was just so enamored with that film. Like I said, it is a perfect film in every sense of the word. And it's something that still holds up till this day.
It really does, and the screenplay is so smart and it holds together so well, time travel
Hmm.
related or not, and just yeah, it's just a wonderful film. I'll share with you that I had the wonderful experience when I was in high school when it was released. I saw that film like five teenage boys in a car at a drive-in.
Oh man, that must have been awesome.
It really was fun because that movie's just so much fun. It
Hmm.
really is a wonderful film.
I got to experience it. I want to say a year back. They were doing this like film festival in Riyadh, where they brought in a live orchestra to play along with the music of the film, and Bayan and I made the what is it like 5 hour trip to Riyadh just to see that, and it was honestly it was something else watching it on the big screen.
That's so cool. That's actually
Hmm.
something here in Los Angeles. We have the Hollywood Bowl, and there's a
Hmm.
tradition of showing films there, particularly John Williams scores, and
Hmm.
they have a live orchestra playing the score to the film. And
Honestly, that is on my bucket list for the next time I'm in Los Angeles. I guess everybody tells me that that is an experience to have in Los Angeles, like one of the most quintessential things to do there if you're into film.
I'm sure it is. I mean, and I think every year that I think they've done, obviously it's a lot from the Lucas Spielberg catalog
Hmm.
because that, boy, you can sell tickets to that.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
But
I'm sure.
yeah, Indiana Jones with a live orchestra, I can't even imagine. I'm sure that's
I
the most
I, I
fun you
think
can
that
have.
I think that would blow my mind away, honestly.
I bet. All right, well, you
Hmm.
got Back to the Future. I'm sure you want to
So
name
I
some more favorites.
so like Back to the Future is my favorite movie of all time. If you ask me what the greatest film of all time, I would say it's 12 Angry Men.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. It's a film I first watched later in life. And for the week after my first screening, I was just inviting people left and right to my house to come and watch this film, to experience it with me. And I just want to see their reactions to the film. It's a simple story. It's one location. It's one set and 12 actors, and they're just playing off each other. The range of emotions, how the story flows, the camera work on that movie. It's simply amazing. And to think that it's Sidney Lumet's debut feature, that is just remarkable.
That is actually, I didn't know it was his first film. I
Oh, it
should
was.
know that. And it really is brilliantly directed. It really is like a stage play, right? It's a stage play
Hmm.
captured on film,
Sure. Yeah.
but but Sidney Lumet used the camera in a way that made it feel cinematic.
Hmm. Absolutely. Right after that is well, what I would consider the scariest film of all time to me, The Exorcist.
Oh, The Exorcist is
Um,
again
the,
brilliant filmmaker.
hmm
Friedkin
hmm yeah.
and I will say, as I believe I shared with you in your interview that
Hmm.
our daughter, who's now in college, decided she would
Hmm.
only watch horror, and we saw so many demonic possession movies together
Hmm.
during COVID, actually, that I said to her, you know what? Next weekend we're watching The Exorcist. You got to see where it all
Yeah.
began, and I will
Hmm.
tell you, it held up perfectly, even for a 14-year-old in this era.
Oh
She's
yeah.
completely engaged in that film. That film is brilliant.
See, and that's a film I've seen um, in cinemas and whatnot. I think it's a movie that asks for your patience because it does not throw a jump scare at you every 5 minutes. It's like even the exorcism part doesn't come in until like after the 1 hour mark of the film. It demands your patience, but it is very rewarding if you're able to sit. I mean, you should be able to sit through it. But if you do go through that journey with those characters, it is very rewarding in terms of how jarring and scary it is. It is a wonderful film, and I was actually in Washington a few years back, and the one thing I wanted to do was to go to the location where they shot the film. And I was running up down those stairs. I was like looking around the house, and at some point, like the guy that owns the house now came out and thought, okay, he was going to say something. Why are you standing in front of my house? But he was very gracious.
Oh, that's so nice.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I mean, he explained how the shots were laid out at the time, how different the house is today compared to what it was back in the 70s. It was absolutely wonderful, to be honest.
That's very cool. I'm so glad that he's not sick of Exorcist fans coming around.
I, I mean, maybe I caught him on a good day, but on that day he was very sweet.
Or maybe just there's not enough people now who love and respect the film that he's not. It's only true cinephiles like yourself going there, and that he doesn't have a constant
Yeah,
flow of people getting in his face.
and quite honestly, that is a shame, to be honest.
Yeah, it should be. It
Hmm.
should be required viewing, huh?
It should, yes.
Or well, my assumption is you want to go a little further than three on the favorites list.
See, honestly, my list contains 15, but just to do a quick run through them, there's The Wolfman. Lon Chaney Jr., one of the best performances of all time on the big screen. Loved him as Larry Talbot. Like my favorite director of all time is Kevin Smith, so I have to say Clerks 2.
Oh,
That
Clerks
is a
2. You prefer
yeah.
Clerks 2 to Clerks 1?
I honestly do, yes. Clerks 1 is a fantastic film. I think Clerks 2 hits a bit more home with me in terms of where you see yourself at that point of life, like it being in your mid 30s, not seeing life go the way you want it to, seeing people pass you by. It is something that really hits the mark with me. Then there's Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. John Candy is my favorite actor of all time. To me, that is necessary viewing every single year. It's just a wonderful film. And I want to,
Absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
and you know what? Bayan will hate me for saying for bringing this movie up, but I gotta say, The Room. Uh, there is,
But the room because of what it's become as a
yes,
film so bad it's good. It's the ultimate example of so bad it's good.
but it is so endearing in that sense. Like, Tommy Wiseau's ambition, his like testicular fortitude, I guess, in making that film. As bad as it was, you got to appreciate him for making that effort and having it still being in the cultural zeitgeist. But like over 20 years from its point of release.
Isn't that crazy to think?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Well, you know what? Now
like
I'll brag. I'll brag when
mhm,
I was not hip and cool. I was a older married fellow, but I had hip cool people visit me once from the Midwest, and they were visiting LA, and they said, "We want to go see
mhm,
The Room. It's this midnight movie." And I was like, "What?"
mhm.
So we went, and Tommy Wiseau. It was still when it was he was renting the theater himself and showing it every
Mhm.
Saturday at midnight, or it might have been every Friday at midnight because
All
Saturday
right.
was Rocky
Oh,
Horror.
oh
But
wait, so
and we
you got
saw
to
The
meet
Room
Tommy
with
Wiseau.
him there,
Oh man,
introducing
that
it
is
and
so
talking to
cool.
he took pictures with everyone afterwards.
Hmm.
He just loved the attention.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's not what he wanted it to be, but it got him where he wanted to be at.
I have to give him
Hmm.
the ultimate credit for, yeah, we do know that he thought he was seriously making a
Hmm.
serious
Oh
film.
yeah.
And then when he found that people found it funny, he
Hmm.
embraced that,
Hmm.
which I think
And
is very admirable.
and you know what? Like Bayan and I run a film club here in Bahrain. Show different films every week, and we do a screening of The Room at least once a year. That is always the hot ticket item. It's something that always gets fully booked well in advance. Uh,
Is there
because
the interactive element? Do people bring the spoons and everything?
oh yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, great.
We got
So
spoons, we
fun.
got footballs being thrown around. The whole interactivity going on.
See? See, it's
Hmm.
it's universal.
It is. It is
Excellent.
across the board. Yes. Yes, sir.
Excellent. All right, well, are we ready for question two?
Yes, please.
All right. Well, question two is a film you feel is underrated.
Well, originally I was gonna say Lake Mungo, but I'm very happy to see like in the last couple of years that's been getting much more attention, much more love and whatnot. But it is a wonderful film. So in its vein, I want to bring up a film called Digging Up the Marrow.
Digging Up the Marrow. I haven't seen
Digging
it.
Up the Marrow. It's by Adam Green. He's the guy that did the Hatchet quadrology from a few years back. He also did Frozen, not the Disney version.
No, not the
So
Disney film.
yeah. So it is a mockumentary with him playing himself, as he tries to investigate this guy who claims that there is another world that dwells beneath ours. And he wants to figure out, is this guy for real or is he just yanking his chain, you know? And it's just so wonderful, you know? It plays to Adam's strengths. He's a fan of 80s slashers and 80s horror. This doesn't fit that forte, but in terms of trying to bring back the aesthetic of that time, he nails it quite a bit. Like if you're a fan of horror, if you're a fan of even I would say maybe fantasy a bit, it is worth a watch. Especially if you're into practical effects, practical makeup and whatnot. It's very creative in that sense.
Well, this was very good timing because tomorrow evening our daughter comes home from college for spring break and is going to want to watch horror films. So I think I'm going to say we're going to watch Digging Up the Marrow.
Oh, awesome. Anyway, let me know what you guys think of it as soon as you guys are done with it.
Sure, sure. I'll fire off an
Awesome.
email. I'm happy to.
Awesome. Awesome.
Excellent. All right. In fact, I will pick up my phone and add that to my horror movie list on my phone while you're
Okay, that
answering the
is awesome.
next question. And the next
Oh,
question is a
but
fun one.
tell me, did you guys also see Lake Mungo?
No, no, I'll add that too.
Do add that as well. That is a very haunting film.
Excellent. Movies to watch. Here we go. Horror
hmm
movies. I will add them while you
hmm
answer the next one, which is
hmm
a film you feel is overrated.
You know what? I know a lot of people will hate me for this. Like I'm sure my friend Mohammed Farid, who's probably be listening to this right now, will hate me for saying this. But Dune,
The 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 remake or the original?
the remake, I actually did not mind the original as dated as it is. Look, it has wonderful performances. The visual effects are absolutely amazing. Watching it in IMAX with the sound and everything, it was certainly an experience. In terms of the story, it's just not for me. Um, it's something I would ever want to watch again. Um, it's and I fail to see like why so many people hold it in such high regards, at least from story point. Visually, in terms of the sound, the acting, it's all wonderful. It's fantastic in that sense. I just don't care about the story. It's just not for me.
Interesting. I will
hmm
confess, I held off on watching it
hmm
because when the first one came out, friends told me, "Oh, it's amazing, but it's only half the story." And I said, "Okay, I'll
hmm
wait till the second one comes out and I'll
Yeah.
watch them both." And then I read that they were doing a third. I'm like, "Okay, I'll wait till
hmm
all three are out because it's
So you'll do the trilogy, but the third one is does not it does tie it, but it jumps the story thing 12 years into the future.
yeah, I'm told
hmm
the first two I should just watch the first two because
Yeah.
they're the first book."
hmm
And
I
I
mean
read that
the
book in 1986.
hmm
So it means I barely remember much, but and I've obviously seen the David Lynch film.
hmm And what do you think of the David Lynch film?
I liked it when I was
hmm
young. Haven't
hmm
seen it honestly since I'm a very much a fan of David Lynch, but that one I
hmm
haven't bothered going back to. I'm obviously a Blue Velvet. I don't know if it's obvious, but I think Blue Velvet is beautiful,
hmm
as
It's a
is
masterpiece, yeah.
yeah, yeah, many of the others. Needless to say, I'm blinking on the one with Nick Cage.
Oh shit. Fuck.
Why am I blanking
Like
on that title? Oh, I'm getting old.
it's on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah, why can't I think of it? I could name every actor in it, but we can move on because it's not about
We
my
can move
opinions
on.
anyway. All right, we have one question left, which is a lesser known film that people should seek out.
All right. So this film is a guilty pleasure of mine. Um, like I said earlier, John Candy is my favorite actor of all time. And this film of his from the early 90s called Delirious is to me is a very underrated film. So it's about this writer who works on a soap opera. He gets into an accident and wakes up as a character in that soap opera that he wrote. And inside that world, he still has his typewriter that he writes episodes on. And whatever he writes on that typewriter happens in real life in the scope of that show. Um, it's a bit of a different role for Candy, but it does allow him to stretch his comedic chops. It gives him a bit of a romance subplot as well. And it's a movie that, for a lot of people, it's not something that they heard of it. I don't think it's available on Blu-ray even. Like because I still have my DVD copy here, but I'm sure it's available on streaming somewhere. So if someone is interested, I highly suggest they give Delirious a chance because it is a hidden gem, as far as I'm concerned.
I'm so glad you mentioned it. Yeah, because John Candy is beloved.
Hmm.
I was one of those kids staying up past midnight to watch SCTV in the
Hmm.
early '80s, and he was brilliant. So many great films. And I
Sure.
remember when Delirious came out,
Hmm.
and heck, let's be honest, they gave a lot of credit to that film. What was it, Stranger Than Fiction?
Yeah.
Same
Yeah.
idea.
Well, more or less, yes.
Author
Yeah.
able to control the environment they've found themselves in.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. John Candy is was so brilliant, so great. There's actually, have you seen that wonderful documentary about him that's on streaming now?
Oh man, I honestly forgot, lost count of the amount of times I cried while watching that.
Yeah,
I would probably say that's one of my top three films of the last year.
I agree. It was
Hmm.
wonderful. It was absolutely wonderful.
Hmm.
And well, I'll share you one funny story, which is before we go, which is I already mentioned the drive-in theater where I saw Back to the Future.
Yeah.
That same drive-in of all one of a fun thing about being a teenager in Los Angeles, particularly in the 80s, I don't know if it still goes now, was being a test audience for Hollywood. Hollywood
All
would
right.
go to the mall where all the kids hung out and hand out free tickets to go to a movie screening. And it turned out you were watching
Hmm.
a film and then you had to fill out a piece of paper at the end and tell them
All
what you
right.
thought.
That's
So
cool.
at that drive-in, we saw a film starring John Candy and Eugene Levy called Armed and Dangerous.
Oh man, I remember seeing that ages ago.
And it was at the drive-in, the test screening we saw, one of the funniest films I'd ever seen.
Hmm.
And then when it
Hmm.
got released theatrically, my friends and I dragged everyone we knew to go see it opening weekend,
Hmm.
and they had edited out everything that was funny.
Ah, that I mean that's a shame.
And I was just in shock that like this there was a lot of off-color humor and I guess
Hmm.
more mature stuff. I don't know what it was. I guess I don't know, but the test audiences, oh, I it was a very interesting lesson for me as a young person
Hmm.
to find out that when Hollywood puts out a movie, a comedy, and you think, well, this isn't funny. How
Hmm.
could they not have a funny film with John Candy as the star and Eugene Levy
Hmm.
as his co-star? And the answer is they did make a brilliantly funny film. Just
It's not the one people got to see.
somebody decided cut out all that racy stuff. Go
Hmm.
make it, whatever. It was a shame.
It
I
was
had to share that with a
absolutely.
fellow John Candy fan.
Oh man, I mean, makes me wonder what the original version was like.
Right? And it's funny. I told that to someone else, I think last year, and they said,
Hmm.
"Oh, you think the director's cut's available somewhere?" I'm like, when a film does as badly as Armed and Dangerous, there is no
Hmm.
director's cut.
Sure. True.
which is too bad. I wish there was. But yeah, I know John Candy sometimes gets called a star who was hit and miss, right? Some films were wonderful, especially the John Hughes stuff he did. Wonderful.
Oh yeah.
And you had some John Hughes on your list.
Mm-hmm.
He played some
But
top reels.
even the stuff that's not so good. I mean, he does still give his all in those roles.
He does.
Like yes, he was in bad films, but I wouldn't say he gave a bad performance. At
I
least not
agree.
to my memory.
And I'm sharing that those films that we have to accept aren't so great might have had the chance to be great if they had uh, been able to make it through the studio system
Mm-hmm. Sure.
more
Absolutely. Yeah.
successfully, I guess.
Oh
More
yeah.
successfully, I'm saying. All
Mm-hmm.
right. Well, there we go. We got through your list was excellent.
Mm-hmm.
And
Thank you.
and uh and now I've got some stuff to watch very
Mm-hmm.
soon.
Mm-hmm.
And
And I need your feedback on those two films.
I will
Mm-hmm.
give it Lake Mungo and
Good.
Digging Up the Marrow.
Mm-hmm.
Good titles too.
Sure.
All right. Well, I will wrap us up. Well, first, thank you, Ahmed. It was
Well,
absolute pleasure to talk to you.
pleasure is all mine, Jeff. Thank you so much to yourself and everyone involved in both Sherman Oaks and Film Invasion.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much. And by the way, you are officially alumni now after Sherman Oaks Film after your film Hope being at Sherman Oaks Film Festival, which means here you are, so insightful about film that you actually will be among that alumni jury. We will invite you if you have the time to watch some films as part of our jury once we make our official selections for Film Invasion this
You know,
summer.
I would love that, honestly. I really
You will get
appreciate
an
that.
email saying, please do, just like you got an email saying, if you have the time and want to, you can hop on Jeff's podcast. You also get an
Sure.
email that says, if you have the time and want to, you can join the Filmmakers Board.
Oh, thank you.
Determine
Well,
the
thank you.
Filmmakers Awards for the next festival.
Oh, thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it.
Excellent. All right. Well, I've already thanked you, so now I'll thank everyone for listening. If you want to learn more about this podcast, just go to discoverindiefilm.com. On social media, it's always at DIFwins. If you go to discoverindiefilm.org, that is our website for the nonprofit for the arts that runs both Sherman Oaks Film Festival every winter, where we screened Ahmed's film Hope, as well as Film Invasion Los Angeles that we hold every summer. And of course, Film Invasion Los Angeles has a cousin now, a South American cousin that is not run by our nonprofit. It's run by a company down in Peru, but it is in every way a filmmaker's first quality of indie cinema festival called Film Invasion Lima in Peru. So there we go. Sherman Oaks Film Festival, Film Invasion LA, Film Invasion Lima. That's all I'm supposed to talk about. Just go to discoverindiefilm.org to learn about those. And thank you so much. This was really fun.
Oh, thank you so much, Jeff. This was wonderful for me.
And thank you. Oh, yeah.
Hopefully this won't be our last time talking.
I hope not.
Yeah.
I'm around. As
Awesome.
obviously I'm glutton for conversation about film because it's what's more fun than discussing film.
Nothing I can think of.
Nothing I can think of either. All right. Thank you, everyone, for listening.